the wrong delivery. Toby was a delivery rider in Riverside District, one of the older neighborhoods of New York City. The streets were narrow, with small shops and houses squeezed close together. There were alleyways that twisted like mazes and tiny bridges over hidden canals. Toby loved the streets. He knew almost every corner, every shortcut, and every alley. It made delivering packages fast and easy. But today, something was different. It started like any other day. Toby rode his motorbike, weaving through the busy streets, delivering small packages to stores and apartments. People waved at him. Kids shouted as he passed, and street vendors called out their greetings. It was normal. It was routine. Then he got a new delivery. The package was small, wrapped in plain brown paper with no name visible. Toby frowned. There was a note, but it was almost impossible to read. He looked around. The shop owner shrugged. "It's just a delivery. Get it there fast," he said. Toby sighed and put the package in his delivery bag. He didn't know it yet, but this small mistake would change everything. Toby rode through the Riverside District, taking streets he knew like the back of his hand. He passed Oak Alley, where kids played soccer in the late afternoon. He passed Maple Street, where old men sat on benches watching the world go by. Then he turned onto Elm Route, a narrow lane lined with small shops and apartment buildings. Finally, he reached the address written on the note. He parked his bike and knocked on the door. There was no answer. Toby looked around. The street was quiet, almost too quiet. He shrugged and placed the package on the doorstep. "They'll get it when they come back," he muttered. He walked back to his bike and rode away, not noticing the shadow standing in the doorway. The shadow moved quickly. The figure disappeared into an alley and pulled out a phone. "It's delivered. We'll get it back soon," a voice said. Toby didn't know it yet, but he had delivered the wrong package to the wrong person, and someone dangerous had noticed. As Toby rode through Riverside District, he felt uneasy. It was a strange feeling, one he hadn't felt in a long time. He glanced behind him. A black car slowed on the street he had just passed. The driver watched him carefully. Toby's heart started beating faster. He tried to ignore it. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe someone else was just driving on the same street, but the feeling didn't go away. He took a turn down a narrow alley, hoping to shake the car. The alley was tight, with walls on both sides and trash bins along the edges. The car followed, slowly, deliberately. Suddenly, another figure appeared on a motorcycle coming from a side street. Toby's heart jumped. He knew then it was not a coincidence. Someone was following him. Someone dangerous. He stopped at a quiet corner, trying to catch his breath. He looked at the package in his bag. Curiosity got the better of him. He pulled it out and opened it carefully. Inside was a small device, a folder with papers, and something that looked important. Toby's eyes widened. He did not understand everything, but he knew it was valuable, and he knew it was dangerous. Whoever this belonged to would do anything to get it back. Toby barely had time to think before he heard footsteps behind him. He turned quickly. Two men in dark clothes were running toward him. One of them had a knife glinting in the fading light. Toby's stomach dropped. He jumped onto his bike and started the engine. Tires screeched as he sped through the streets and alleys he knew so well. The first chase had begun. Toby ducked under low bridges, squeezed through narrow passageways, and jumped over small obstacles. Trash cans tumbled to the side. A stray cat ran across his path, hissing. He didn't care. He had to escape. The men followed him, one on foot and one on a motorcycle. He could hear their footsteps echoing through the alleyways. He turned sharply into Oak Alley, narrowly missing a group of children playing. He glanced back. They were still coming. He had to think fast. Toby's mind raced. He remembered a small abandoned shop a few blocks away, hidden behind a street of old buildings. He turned and headed straight for it.
The men were still following, unaware of the hidden paths Toby knew. He reached the shop and quickly slipped inside. The door creaked as he closed it behind him. Inside it was dusty and dark, filled with old furniture and broken shelves. Toby pressed his back against the wall, trying to control his breathing. His heart was pounding so loud he was sure it could be heard through the walls. Outside, he could hear the footsteps pause. The men were looking for him, but they didn't know where he had gone. Toby peered through a cracked window. Shadows moved in the street. One of the men kicked the door of the abandoned shop, trying to see inside. Toby froze. He couldn't make a sound. Minutes passed. Toby's hands shook as he held the package tightly. He realized he had survived, but the danger was far from over. The package was not just a delivery. It was a key to something much bigger, something that could put him in serious trouble. Toby knew one thing clearly. He had made a huge mistake, and now someone powerful and dangerous was looking for him. The Riverside district, which had always felt safe, now seemed like a trap. Every alley could hide an enemy. Every street corner could lead to danger. He took a deep breath. He had to stay calm. He had to think. He couldn't go home. Not yet. Not while the package was out there and someone was after him. Toby looked around the abandoned shop, searching for a way out, a plan, a route no one else knew. The shadows outside shifted again. Toby's stomach tightened. He knew they were still looking. He pressed his back against the wall and whispered to himself, "I just need to survive. Just get through this."